Back here on Busted Open, Dave LaGreca, Bully Ray. The name of the movie is called Mohawk. It's out now. And Bully, I got to be honest with you. I watched it last night. I had nightmares, so I didn't get much sleep. And then after, and for those who've seen the movie, and if you haven't, you'll know where I'm coming from. I couldn't even have a hot cup of coffee this morning after watching that movie last night. But we do welcome in Luke Harper. Luke, how are you, man?
Hello. You said you speak to the biggest names in professional wrestling.
That's right.
I don't see any of them in this room.
Oh, come on, man. Come on.
Thanks.
Oh, I'm not supposed to stooge off that you're not in here?
Well, you're here.
Oh, yeah.
You're here.
I was burying myself.
Never.
So
Hey, brother, good to talk to you, man.
Good to see you, man. How are you?
I'm very well. This movie is pretty freaking gruesome.
Yeah, man, I love it. I'm very proud of. Honestly, I'm very proud of the way it came out, and it's awesome. And I'm happy that people get to see it now.
And Luke's character in the movie, quickly, Bully, is that he's a badass, but he's got a conscience too.
Yeah, I'm a horrible person, but I'm the moral compass of the movie also. So I'm a bad guy, but not a bad guy.
Oh, okay.
And there's a lot of that in the movie. There's a lot of good guys that are bad guys and a lot of bad guys that are good guys. It's up to you to decide.
Now, was this your story? Did somebody come to you with this? Is this your typical, way a movie goes down? Give us some insight on how it all transpired.
Basically, I was out with an injury at the time, a knee injury, dislocated my patella, was out for 6 to 8 months. And then the director from the movie had got a hold of TR, Talent Relations, and Talent Relations got a hold of me, said they wanted me to be a part of the movie. Did a quick Skype call with Ted, who's in studio here with us, but probably can't hear us. I guess that went well. I thought it went horribly. And then he said, yeah, let's do it.
How long were you on the set for actually shooting?
3 weeks. And actually it worked out perfect because we're in... Why is Rowan on the TV in here?
Your partner.
This isn't live.
Don't you want to see? Don't you want to see your partner at all times? Don't you think me and Devon wanted to see each other every freaking part of the day?
Bully, you know more than anybody. I don't want to see Rowan. But no, I was on set for 3 weeks, and it was shot in Syracuse, New York, which is about an hour from where I live in Rochester, New York, and it was shot on a Native American Onondaga reservation, and so everything is very real. There's a lot of reality steeped in the movie. It's a story that rings very true, probably even today, where there's evil out there, but we don't know who the evil is.
Yeah, and the movie really does have that feel of, it's a drama, but there's a little bit of horror. It has a little bit of everything. And like I said, there's multiple characters in this movie that are brutal but do have a conscience, and that's where it's a really good story. It's because it almost puts you in a position like, what would you do? Because especially when you're dealing with family, right, as in this movie as well. Right. So, like, how important are certain things to you? So I think I think this movie touches just about everything. But
and for me, it shows, I guess, because it's set in the War of 1812, so it's about 1814, and it shows just the atrocities of war and what they've become. And this is kind of the tail end of it, and even then, like, there's just horrible stuff happening, and who's right, who's wrong.
Was this your first movie?
Yes, absolutely. So
did you enjoy the process?
I loved the process. Fell in love with it, and I guess we're kind of made for it, coming from professional wrestling. Hurry up and wait, but then get to hyperspeed instantly, and So I like to tell the story of the first time I was on set. 7 hours I sat in a trailer, and then next thing I know is, let's go. And I ran out to set, and I was crying over a dead man's body moments later. So,
just for clarification, it's hyperspace or light speed, not hyper or whatever you just said.
I said hyper speed because what an intelligent man does will combine the two terms and make their own.
I'm such a schmuck.
Are you, Luke? Are you a Star Wars guy? Because obviously Bully is.
I am not. So maybe that's where the loss in translation comes.
That's the thing. You can't be both a pro wrestling fan and a Star Wars fan. That's too much nerdism.
Don't tell Zack Ryder that.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Zack Ryder is the biggest nerd on the planet. Between Star Wars and Disney and all his Twitter posts about him riding like the teacups at a small world.
He just went to, I don't know. I mean, I can't follow him. It's just too much, but he just went to Disneyland, and so all that's new to him. So enjoy that. followers. Because what I do is I just take his post and then I send it to my friends in group chats.
All right, let's switch it up just a bit here to a little bit of wrestling.
Okay.
Obviously, the Wyatt family, you guys, I think, did a phenomenal job. You were definitely you're the worker of the crew. Not that those other guys aren't, but you are definitely the worker of the crew. The gimmick got over like $1 million. Why did they decide to get you away from it? Even though they took you away from Bray, why couldn't you guys still stay part of the family?
I mean, I think you might be asking the wrong person. I'm not sure, but for some reason, I don't know. And it's mind-boggling to me too. As I watch a Shield Wyatt's match on the TV here, it reminds me how talented I am.
Yes, you're right.
Honestly, though, the Wyatt family was a very special thing. Everything, the three of us came together at a perfect time, and it was literally unbelievable that I got hired, Eric was there, and Bray was coming into his own all at the same time. So it was a perfect storm. And again, looking in your studio, watching Shield versus Wyatt, it was honestly a magical time in 2014, 2015. So I don't know. To answer your question.
Did you know that like somebody like a Braun Strowman who came out of that Wyatt family, that he was going to become as big and as hot as he is right now?
Let me ask Bully, did you think that?
I really did, because I did,
big?
man. I told the story, and I don't want to say who it was, but two very high up people in the WWE came to me one night and they asked me what I thought about Braun, and I said, man, he takes a step forward every night. He wants to learn. You know, Braun always showed the right qualities you want in a young wrestler. And he listened to you guys. He listened
me in particular.
Yes, but he always listened. And the two guys that I told this to looked at me and they said, Bubba, you're crazy.
I remember back when he first started, everyone thought we were crazy, but then watching him in action, watching how massive he is and just the presence he has, and then to learn professional wrestling that quickly on the highest level you can be at, it's a pretty intense thing to do, and he did it.
You know, Bully, it's so bizarre. I'm sitting here talking to Luke Harper, and we're watching him wrestle on the screen. It's like bizarre, and we're in trance. I don't think we've looked at each other once during this entire interview. We're just watching Luke wrestle.
I could tell you, this is Minneapolis. It's the Elimination Chamber. It's the first time Wyatt and Shield met. They were chanting, "This is awesome," before we locked up. This is one of my favorite matches of all time.
There you go.
Thanks for putting it on.
We knew that. That's why we put it on. And, you know, listen, it wasn't that long ago. I was watching you wrestle in Union, New Jersey in the Ace Arena.
Yeah, oh, God.
And then now, you know, here we are on the road to WrestleMania, and you're acting in a movie like Mohawk. I mean, what's it been like the last 5 years?
Honestly, I said this to somebody last weekend, actually, because we worked in the Staples Center, and I said, man, think about 7 years ago, even 8 years ago, when we would walk out, because I'm not doing anything differently. I'm pro wrestling. So I walk to the ring and I'm a professional wrestler and I have a match. But 8 years ago, 2 days ago when I did it, I looked out and the Staples Center was full. But 8 years ago when I would do that, I'd walk into the Ace Arena, walk into the ring, do the same thing, and I'd look out and there'd be 20 people there. So to think of the journey that it's been, and that's unbelievable. And now to be in a movie that I'm proud of, a movie that I've seen 3 times and I love, things couldn't be better for me.
And it's also, too, when you look at a movie like Mohawk, and we just talked about how it's brutal, how it's really deep and detailed. Usually when you see a WWE superstar doing a movie, it's something that's a little bit more gimmicky and shticky. Well, this is a different road than someone used to doing.
So as soon as Ted got a hold of me, I assumed, okay, they need a big burly guy to be an early death or something, or like beat somebody up and then die. I got there, and then, like I said, I was crying over a dead man's body, and I'm becoming the moral compass of the movie, and it was way deeper than I ever anticipated, and I'm so happy that it was that way as opposed to just run-of-the-mill, hey, big guy, whatever.
So you were able to politic your character in the movie to stay alive the whole time?
I knew this was going to be trouble coming in here with you. You know me too well.
So you were originally supposed to die in 5 minutes, but somehow miraculously you politicked yourself into the best spot of the movie.
What I like to think happened is we did the first scene, and the director was so thrown how good I was He wrote me into the rest of the movie.
The Bully jokes about it, but is that part of pro wrestling? Is that you have to get into someone's ear if you do want to move up?
That, and so I was talked about this. Even working with Ted, he allowed me to have the character Lachlan and to have the character the way he wrote it, but also to have my opinion, my viewpoint on what Lachlan should be and maybe shouldn't say, or maybe a little motion. And he would work with me, and we'd shoot both ways, and it was up to him to decide. And I knew that it's his movie, but it was so awesome to have that creative outlet with Ted and to do that. And with WWE, you have that to a certain level.
Luke, you back, I don't want to say back in my day, but I remember.
We just got done working.
Yeah. I remember when politicking was something that went on every single day. And then when we came back in 2015, I saw that there was actually a lot less of it.
Yep.
But how much still goes on? Like, you're there every day. I don't think a lot of politicking goes on anymore.
No, I don't think it's I think it's a different way of politicking. I think it's now text messages and emails and that sort of politicking and making sure that your ideas are heard and making sure that they know you work there and stuff like that. That's politicking to me. When I was off TV for 6 months, I mean, I bet the boys thought I was politicking my ass off because guess what? I wanted to get back on TV. But at the same time, I wasn't burying anybody. I wasn't doing anything bad, negative towards anybody. I was just trying to up my game.
Because me and Devon texted Vince so many times about beating you guys, but it never worked. We lost to you guys every night.
I'm assuming that had more to do with Braun and Bray and not me and Rowan.
Dave, you want to hear a funny story?
Of course.
Dave, here's a funny story, and I know Luke is going to love it. I got to tell it.
Philadelphia?
Yes. So when the Dudleys and the Wyatts found out like day one that we were going to finally mix it up, we were super excited because we were like, oh man, we are going to kill each other and have the best time, and we're going to do all this and do all this. And as the weeks unfolded, we were doing less and less and less, and we were finally looking at each other like, oh my God, again? So one day we're all standing at ringside. It's like me, Devon, Luke, Eric, Bray was there, and Braun is there, and Vince McMahon walks up to all of us. And he's like,
not a word of a lie here.
Damn it, guys. You got to go in there and you got to wrestle more. You gotta grab a hold and you gotta really work it. Braun, I want to see you grab that top wrist lock. And 7 guys just all made eye contact with one another. Like, what is this crazy man thinking?
But that night,
Dad, you finish the story.
That night, Bubba Ray tries to lock in a top wrist lock on old big Braun Strowman, and Braun Strowman reverses that and throws Bubba off, and Vince was happy.
Vince popped for the top wrist lock.
Yep.
And you never would think that Vince McMahon would want a top wrist lock.
I don't want a top wrist lock. I don't want to see Braun doing a top wrist lock.
Like when Vince walked away, we all looked at each other like, was he ribbing us?
We thought he was ribbing us.
Was he serious?
But it was nothing. It was real.
Good times.
Bully and I have talked a lot about the Bludgeon Brothers, about the tag team division now on SmackDown. Are you happy right now being a part of the Bludgeon Brothers? And how well do you think that this is really going off right now?
I think the SmackDown tag team division is flying right now. Shelton and Gable. They got New Day and Usos who are primed. And the thing is, I think they need the fresh blood. I think they need us to do this for them because they've all been wrestling each other many, many times. The fresh blood's time. It's our time. And I couldn't be more pleased to be in there. We had matches with the Usos, I think, 3 years ago now that some of the best in my career, and I can't wait to do it again.
I'm liking it right now. And listen, when I look at you, Luke, I got to be honest with you. I was a little disappointed at first because I want to see you with the singles run because I think everyone that's listening to this show right now knows what you're capable in the ring.
And that's the name of the game. I mean, at the end of the day, I want to be a world champion. I want to be an intercontinental champion, and but I also want to be a tag team champion. And if that's my way in to get to those other goals, then I'm more than willing to do it.